Okay, so let's talk about a number of things today. Let's talk about proposals. Let's talk about subcontractors. Let's talk about techniques for submitting your proposal. So I just did a proposal today and just got done kind of celebrating. I didn't even get the account yet, or even, I don't even know if I even got the account, but just the fact of some of the things that I was able to do with the CRM that we have with Clean Biz Network, I wanted to kind of just celebrate because I'm like, man, this is amazing. Some of the things that it can do, and I guess the position that it puts me in reference to competing against other cleaning companies. So I did a proposal today for an apartment complex. It's like 4 buildings, just twice a month, but you can't do it in one day. Well, you probably could do it in one day, but it's more like a 2 to 3 day kind of common area cleaning. So I put together the proposal. And one thing that I've learned being in Clean Biz Network and just my experience, knowing that, a lot of times people will give you just that one option when it comes to your cleaning business proposals, your service proposals. But I've learned that doing multiple proposals and having levels to the proposals helps a great deal in getting you the account, or at least giving you a better advantage when it comes to selecting the account. Because a lot of times what they do is they give you one I guess price quote or estimate, or however you want to put it, and it leaves too much room for them to say no, right? Make it hard, make it difficult for them to say no by giving them options. So what I normally do is I'll find out what their budget is. And, more times than not, I get what the budget is. Sometimes you don't, but that happens, and you go from there. But if you get the budget, you can kind of see, okay, considering what the scope of work is. Another thing I also do is I ask them for what the scope of work of the current or the previous cleaner, right? So if you get that scope of work, it'll help you easier determine how to come up with the price or a quote for that account. So what I do is I get their scope of work, I get what their budget is, and I try to figure out if I can meet it, if I can match it, right? But I don't stop there. I don't just try to match their budget. What I do is I'll give them what their budget will cover in reference to the scope of work, and then I give them sort of like a medium offer, a little bit more. We add some more kind of additional services, and it'll take them to, say for instance, let's kind of even out. So if it's a $1,000 account, right, or $1,000 budget or whatever, you give them what their $1,000 budget will give them, right? Then let's go to 1,500, right? What would 1,500 give you? And I make that like a medium, or even I would probably go more than 1,500. I'd probably go to like 17 to 19, something like that. Give them what that would entail. You add a few additional services and stuff like that that'll help them say, okay, well, medium is pretty good. That's, good options. Supervisor, maybe a client portal, maybe, some other just kind of things that will sweeten the pot. Then you give them a premium option, which would probably entail all of the things that are in tier 1 and in tier 2, and in tier 3 you would just kind of top it off, something more luxury, something like that. You can play around with it and kind of figure out what you would want to put in that, and there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of come up with what those premium options should be, right? But if you give them, I learned that if you give them options, you give them more than just a single quote. You leave the door open for them to kind of say, hey, what we're getting is more of a standard basic tier in reference to cleaning services. Then you show them the medium tier, and you show them the luxury or premium tier, and they'll be like, hey, maybe I want to do that. I think we can do a little bit more. So it just gives them an option, and it makes it a lot harder for them to say, no, this doesn't meet our budget. If you just leave it as just trying to meet their budget, not good. Provide value to it, give them education. So with the proposal that I just did for this apartment complex, it's like 4 buildings and stuff like that. I added one of the tier options was a medium and a premium tier, and in those tiers it provided them with a client portal. And in the client portal will provide them with knowing who is coming into their building or their facility, right? So you have a contact information for all the people that are actually cleaning their facility. It has the scope, the safety data worksheet access. It has the facility report. So we do inspection reports and stuff like that. All of that is uploaded to the portal. So when it's uploaded to the portal, they have access to be able to see it. They can see any type of inspections that's been accomplished, when it was accomplished. In addition to that, it also has pictures and all that other stuff of each clean that's being done on their facility, so they can go back into the portal at any time and kind of see, on this day, these are the pictures that show that they were actually there, and that they provided the picture verification and all that other stuff, and just stuff like that. In addition to being able to communicate or contact our staff if there's any issues or anything like that that happens, that they need resolved in a timely manner. And there's just so many other things that go into that. In addition to the client portal, there's videos on how to kind of navigate the portal and understand the portal. And I've learned that going this route and giving them kind of the premium experience prior to them selecting on which experience they want to go to usually gets me the account. I want an account from a large kind of recreation center just off of the premise, or not even the premise, but just the understand. Well, let's put it this way. I told them that this is what we are creating for clients of this kind of magnitude, letting them know, hey, we are creating a client portal which will make communication a lot easier. Even though I did get the account, I did not even provide them with the portal at this point. We're still working on it for their facility. But one thing that I was able to do that kind of add value to the account is that there is a communication where, sometimes you go into facilities or whatever, and they have like a communication log, and you have to write in a book. It's like a book that's in the janitor's closet or whatever. So, those things are, you write it down, and you have to go off of whenever the person that you are writing this message or this communication to sees it, that's when they see it. So we've made it something that's automated and more digital, where we created that same form, that same document or whatever, and we put it on a digital platform where you can scan a QR code. It'll pull up that form. You'll fill out that form. And when you fill out that form and you submit the form, whether it be we need more supplies, or there's an issue in one of the restrooms, or a light bulb is out, whatever it may be, you can fill out that form digitally on your phone, right? And once you submit it, it automatically gets submitted to your staff, whoever your company is, and it also gets submitted to the staff of the company that you're with, so that they can get that information in a timely manner, as opposed to waiting until somebody actually goes and looks at the book, which can be a day, 2 days, 3 days, or even a week. How often do you think they actually go and look at that book? You know what I'm saying? So we made that more automated. So these are some things that we kind of implemented in our business and our company that kind of puts us into another level when it comes to being automated. And it helps things go a lot faster. It helps things go a lot smoother. It gives you accountability. It gives you kind of not really a blueprint, but it gives you kind of the ability to say, okay, this was submitted on this day at this time, right? So there's no kind of lag. There's no delay in a lot of things that may come up when you have to actually write stuff down in a book or whatever. So it puts us in a whole nother, excuse me, another stratosphere, puts us in a whole nother level, platform, whatever you want to call it. But I think that taking your business to the next level by automating it will help you be able to elevate your business. And I just wanted to kind of share that with you. Come up with things that will help you stand out when it comes to competing against other businesses or competing against other agencies or whatever they may be trying for the same account that you're trying for. What makes you different? Everybody has a cleaning company, everybody has a cleaning business, everybody's an entrepreneur, but what makes you different, right? What makes you stand out? The know-it-all, the desire, the motivation, the determination, all the Asians, all the other things that kind of put you above everybody else. That's what's going to get you the account. I'm not saying that we're the best company in the world, we clean the best in the world, on any of that stuff. But what I'm saying is you have to kind of put yourself out there, and you have to create things that will make you stand out amongst similar businesses, right? You don't have to be, a 500 company. You don't have to be, the number one company in the state and in the city and all that other stuff. You just have to stand out when it comes to dealing with individuals and their businesses and facilities and stuff like that. And what makes you stand out? What makes you stand out is you and what you bring to the table and how involved you are. You don't necessarily have to be hands-on involved, but what a lot of companies and a lot of businesses kind of look for is that when we have an issue, we have something, a concern or whatever, can you fix it in a timely manner? Is it easy to communicate with you and get back and forth or get in contact with you so that we can get this resolved, right? So that's basically what it is. So I'll say all of that to say, hey, if you are a company that is out there and you are trying to take your business to the next level, you're trying to automate your business, you're trying to compete with these big franchises and all this other stuff, you want to go to Clean Biz University /automations, right? cleanbizuniversity.com/automations. Go there. AJ Simmons, who I partner with in the automation program, we're just killing it when it comes to taking businesses to the next level, helping them level up, helping them elevate their business so that they can compete with these other companies that are, going in, getting these accounts, lowballing, right? So, because it's not necessarily always money when it comes to getting an account. It's not always just being the lowest bidder. As long as you provide, a service, you provide what they're looking for, and you provide education, you provide quality, you provide accountability, dependability, all that stuff. You provide all of that stuff. They would much rather go with you than go with those big town companies or anything like that. So you have to kind of stand out and show them, hey, we may not be as large as those other companies, but we are doing things that will align us with what they have the ability to do on their scale, right? So be able to automate your business, be able to elevate your business, be transparent with your business, be able to be accessible to your clients, and that will go a long way when it comes to getting these cleaning accounts with commercial businesses. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep on relaxing and enjoying this, even though I won't say it's a win, but I'll say it's a win because I don't know for sure, but I feel like I'm gonna get it. One thing I will say is that, you know what, I'll say that for another video, but things are getting better, things are doing well, and sometimes you need to subtract in order to multiply. So I say that to say is sometimes you may need to get rid of accounts that aren't benefiting the growth that your company is in line to achieve, right? So with that being said, you guys have a great day. Catch you next time. I'm out.